Canadians watching US in horror and consternation, PM Trudeau.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ottawa, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, when asked about U.S. President Donald Trump possibly calling in the military to quell protests, paused here. 2020, News MLOVCG0070FK15 and page it equals Reuters News for more than 20 seconds before responding that Canadians were observing events in the U.S. with horror. "We all watch in horror and consternation what's going on in the United States," Trudeau said on Tuesday at a daily news briefing, after a reporter pressed him on Trump's idea of using soldiers against protesters. "It is a time to pull people together," Trudeau said. Trudeau talked about the need to fight racism in Canada, as he has been doing since the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis last week sparked U.S. protests. When a reporter asked for further comment on Trump's words and actions, Trudeau said, "My job as a Canadian Prime Minister is to stand up for Canadians." Trudeau has long spoken about the need to end racism, but his re-election campaign was almost derailed last September after pictures of him in blackface from years earlier emerged. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, a former reporter, separately defended the work of American journalists who have been targeted by both police and protesters.
This post received a score of 31,000, with an upvote ratio of 86%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
The US is watching the US in horror and consternation too.
It's like we're in an apartment building where all the exits are blocked and watching the much taller building across the street go up in flames and all you can think is, ah fuck, just don't fall on us.
Like you guys live in a beautiful penthouse apartment, but underneath is a meth lab ready to explode at any time.
You obviously haven't been here. It's more of a duplex scenario with functional family on one side and a meth lab on the other. It ain't the land of milk and honey.
Never change, you quiet, unassuming Canadian source, I'm Canadian.
In the words of Ryan Reynolds, do you know how to make Canadians like you? Mention Canada. Not the source, just him being awesome.
"Am Canadian, can confirm."
That pause, man. A man in an impossible position asked a tough question. He answered the best he could, but you can tell he is going back and forth 100 times in that 21-second pause. Desperately wants to shit on Trump but knows he can't.
I respect that Trudeau doesn't want to sink to the level of the current batch of populist heads of state who are fond of shooting their mouths off. Throughout modern history, many national leaders have often avoided using strong words when it comes to international politics, because saying the wrong thing could end up sparking unnecessary war or conflict. It's called diplomacy. It was Roosevelt that popularized "speak softly and carry a big stick," but Americans seem to have long since forgotten the meaning of the phrase.
The black barbecue restaurant owner who was killed in Louisville, Kentucky by the same cops he let eat for free in his restaurant? They also left him dead in the street for 12 hours. His name was David McAdee. Pass it on. Listen to his poor mother speak.
That is straight out of a cartel playbook. Leaving a body dead in the street to send a message.
Message being we even kill people who are nice to us. Hard to imagine being that cold.
I like how he actually thought about what he was going to say before he said it. Growing up I was taught that thoughtfulness and intelligence were to be celebrated. I am so tired of the reactionary diarrhea and bile that spews from American conservative leaders and their constituents.
Like Trump instantly saying, "I don't take any responsibility," before the end of the question was even finished. Fucking mental patient. Canadian here. We have our own issues with racism. This is a great opportunity for us to reflect on our own personal biases and build respect and empathy for others.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.